Hello, this is a short demo where I'm going to show how you can sort of gatekeep tools that an agent might have access to in order to prevent it from doing stuff without permission. And this is a really interesting way of using BPMN specifically to do that gatekeeping. So the idea is that we want the agent, which is this sub-process here, to have access to a whole bunch of tools to do the job, right? But depending on the job it needs to do, it doesn't need access to everything all at once. Rather, if it tries to do something or needs to do something, it should have permission. So I'm going to run this twice. The first time I'm going to run it, let's say the happy path, where it runs through with all the permissions it needs to get the work done. And second time, I'm going to give it some additional requirements that it needs other tools to run with. So I'm going to click run and deploy. And what I'm sending in here is I'm sending in, can you get company details for the following invoice? And there's the invoice details. It's got some information. I'm going to deploy and run that. Now, in this particular process, it has 4 tools. And one of them, company record, it always has access to, as well as contact clerk. So in the happy path mode, it arrives, it triggers the tool it needs, and then it shows results. And we can go here and see the results are, here are the company details of this particular invoice. Fantastic, we did it, aren't we wonderful? So this is the happy path, meaning that we do not need to sort of involve other people. There's a human in the loop here that doesn't need to be involved. This is what we expect the agent to do most of the time. So now let's deal with an edge case, let's say, where an agent needs to do more than what its intended, what its initial approvals require. So I'm going to start this again. This time, get company details following invoice. Also, get details of all the items in the invoice. Okay, so it's going a little further, so let's deploy and run that. This is initially then going to, first of all, allow it to get the information about the customer, get the company, which you should be able to get quite easily, and that's not a problem. But it also triggers this tool. I want to zoom in for a second because this shows, this little one here shows that it tried to access the tool, but this gatekeep caught it and said it couldn't do it. It also tried to access this tool just now a second ago, and it also got caught. Now, here's the thing. What we don't want is for the agent to give up and say, hey, I can't do it. Oh, well, it's all over now. What we wanted to do is we wanted to give clear reasons why it should get access to a human worker. And that's why we have this contact clerk task. So it knows what job it needs to do. It's failed to trigger both of these. So if we go to tasks, we see it says, hey, I need permissions to do purchase order lookup and that sort of thing. So I'm going to say, okay. Now in runtime, then I can say, okay, great. I'm going to give you some permissions to do that. I'm going to assign this task to me, first of all. You can see it already has company record permissions, which I could remove if I wanted to. And I'm going to give it the ability to check out invoice items and invoice details. I'm going to say, I've given you that permission. Go ahead. And then click complete. Great. And now what we'll see is we'll see the task be completed, and then the agent try again to trigger these tools. There we go. Now it triggers the invoice details. It gets back what it needs, and then it'll theoretically, very probably, then go to show results because I think it gets everything from this request. And what we've got here is we've got the ability to both offer all the tools available to an agent, but at the same time, we also have the ability to restrict them depending on the individual use case. And we can see here, we've got the details of the line items and the order and so on. Fun pattern using BPMN, totally visual, which is really important for auditing. You can see the agent's choice as it went along, and just a fun way of being able to sort of reveal sort of complexity of agent execution with BPMN. Cheerio.